What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about two topics that's blazing the internet. There's no secret that Microsoft has to get their teeth kicked in when it comes to this whole used game business, them blocking used games and whatever the case may be. And everyone's pointing the finger at Microsoft. But like I said, maybe, like I said, Microsoft may not even be to blame. I'm not saying maybe. And also, too, I'm going to read an article. Sony still hasn't answered the question either. Are they going to allow used games on their console? Because I'm going to read a little bit of that article, too. But anyway, it looked like EA, that's why they said, in the same article, it said that's why EA and Nintendo kind of fell out because EA wanted Nintendo to block used games. But why did EA care if the system plays used game or not? Because like I said, in that same article, I believe it said something like Battlefield 4 sold a ridiculous amount of, like, I think it was 1.2, 1.3 million copies, used at GameStop. Now you think about that, GameStop sells, pretty fairly new games, used, what, $55, you know what I mean? Because we do this. Let's say Battlefield sold 1.3 million copies used, right? So take away the 300,000, just say a million. So just say a million of those at $55. That's $55 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of money to not go back to some of the developers not to see any of that money. And like I said, for years, Cliffy B and a couple other jokers saying, that's like kind of a slap in the face to these developers, especially a lot of these small developers out here. You take the case like look at THQ. Just think about Saint Rose 3, the last big hit, Saint Rose 3. Think about it, say if that sold 400,000 copies used. I'm just saying, just throwing that number here. Say if GameStop made about $10 million off of St. Rose 3 used. You know what $10 million would have did for fucking THQ? They're probably still be in business today, you know what I mean? That's real shit right there, you know what I mean? Like I said, maybe, like I said before, if GameStop, because right now they hurting also, they stocks took a plummet when they came out saying that, that the Xbox One would not accept or use games or however the fuck they're going to do it, you know what I mean? I'm still waiting for that answer. Maybe if they wouldn't have been so goddamn greedy and share some of the goddamn revenue. I don't fuck with GameStop when it comes to with GameStops. I get my games, my systems from there. I put insurance on it, but all that you can buy a game today. Backbreaker 55. You buy it today on Tuesday. Say you beat the game by Sunday, you take it back Monday. Trade it in or whatever the goddamn case for you. They give you $15 of store credit for it, and take that, give you $15 for it or $10 for the store credit, and put it back on the shelf for $55. That's why I refuse. That's like you fucking pissing in my fucking cup, and like I said, like how you say I want to do the Nintendo jokers, piss in the cup, and Dr. Trey's like, ooh, I don't want to. Is that apple juice? Shut up, Trey. That is PP. You know what I mean? I refuse to let these motherfuckers piss in the glass and tell me it's apple juice, man. Hell no. That's why I don't trade in games, man. I don't do that whole used game shit because, like I said, I'm a joker from the streets and I got morals, you know what I mean? And that's like, I feel like the motherfuckers extort me, like you robbing me, man. Like I just paid $65 for this game and you're gonna turn around and give me 15? Like, nah. No. We can do not for nothing though. I did take a couple, cause I had several Xbox 360s, long story. And I took those into GameStop, and they had especially give you extra $50 for them. So for the Slims, I got some. I forgot what I got, you know what I mean? But I had like 3 extra Xboxes, 360s here, and I traded them and got some store credit for them. I didn't get cash, but I got store credit for it, and I used that shit on my See, I still got 2 more right there. I'm gonna go and put one of them shits in my daughter's room, and I got one on my. I'm using my Halo Reach Edition Xbox now. Took them to the sea, but that's not what this video is about. So like I said, look like EA. Just think about it. It's like $55 million that could win up EA's money. Like I said, think about how many developers that went bellied up this generation. You know what I mean? How many and they had great games. You know what I mean? Look at the motherfuckers that did L.A. Noire. Bungie. Well, I know it was published by Rockstar or whatever, but the people that made the game. The same name was Sardines, you know what I mean? And I heard their next generation project, Oriental Horror, is may not even get completed because they having financial problems. I mean, think about how many copies of LA Noire were sold used. You know what I mean? Just think about that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, if GameStop, you do have a lot of other places out there that do the whole used game thing, but by far we all know that GameStop is the biggest when it comes to that shit. Just maybe split some of that revenue back. I don't give a fuck if it was 5% or 2% they kick back to the devs. You know what I mean? If they sell the game back for whatever, and maybe they gave the developers $2 or $2.50 off each game, like, you know what I mean, like something. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's enough of that right there. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not enough. I'm gonna read this thing here about the PlayStation 4. When it says, because like I said, they have not honestly come out and said what they do with the used games and not able. It says PS4 answers to the pre-owned game question is still just as unclear as Xbox One's. I'm going to skip over. I'm going to come down to most of the juicy part. It says, to make matters even more concerning, Mr. Yoshida mentioned in a roundtable discussion that publishers can require activation code for second-hand games. A similar DRM measure to the one we expected is Microsoft is using with the Xbox One to ensure appropriate transfer of software between owners. When asked whether Sony will implement such a measure, he simply replied that at this time Sony is not in a position to talk about it. If you're thinking, goes on to say, if you're thinking about jumping ship from the Xbox One to the PlayStation 4 because of Xbox One DRM for disc, you better wait until Sony reveals its full hand from this sound of thing. PlayStation 4 could be implementing the same restriction. Shit, just think about it, motherfucking. Think how many used copies of fucking Uncharted was sold. We all know Sony got motherfucking money issues. You know what I mean? They cut of that goddamn money. So like I said, don't be surprised. Like I said, if Sony has something like that, do I think it's wrong? I mean, I don't like the fact of I feel like I'm being dictated or being told what to do. That's my whole issue with it. Now, even you got PCs, they don't do you one time shot. They don't do used games. You can't take it this from this. You know what I mean? But I guess people feel with consoles you have a little bit more leeway or more freedom. But like I said, that's nothing new. It's been like that on PC for years. You know what I mean? They don't take used games. But anyway, enough of that with the whole used game like that. Like I said, I just thought I'd add my 2 cents in. Maybe, like I said, a lot of these developers are behind Microsoft and Sony. Hey, no used game, no used game. They just sit back like this, you know what I mean? Like we gotta wait and see, you know what I mean? Do I want to see it implemented? Like I said, no. But I would like to see GameStop set up something, for some of these small people, the developers, that they can get a kickback and keep everybody happy. You know what I mean? I don't want GameStop to go out of business. I don't want Redbox or GameFly to go out of business. You know what I mean? But maybe they can set something up in the place that everybody can share off that, revenue. Also, on to the next story. Another article has been running rampant on the internet. The PS4 is more powerful than the Xbox One on paper, but Microsoft will catch up, says Avalanche Studios. You guys know who Avalanche Studios is? They are the jokers behind, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ew. They are the allergies are killing me. They're the jokers behind Just Cause franchise. They're the same ones that said they consider the Wii U as being a current gen system. Here you go. It says PlayStation 4 currently beats the Xbox One in terms of raw power and has more mature developer environments, Avalanche Studio has told us. The Just Cause creator is working with each next-gen console right now and says that in terms of pure specifications and working environments, the PS4 is the preferable console. But with the Xbox One cloud capabilities and further developer support coming, Sony can't claim an early breakthrough just yet. We asked the Avalanche Chief Technical Officer Linus Bloomberg how the two consoles compare. Right now he said it's difficult to say, as it's still early days. When it comes to drivers, he told us, with each driver's release, performance increased dramatically in some areas. The PlayStation 4 environment is definitely more mature currently, so Microsoft has some catching up to do. But I'm not too concerned about that, as traditionally it has been very good in that area. The specs on paper would favor the PS4 over the Xbox One in terms of raw power, but there are many other factors involved, so we'll just have to wait and see a little bit longer. You guys remember the creator from Atari went on and said that he predicts Microsoft to win this generation because of their software developer kits and drivers and stuff like that. People for years have been kicking Sony and asking. They said some of Sony kits and drivers were in Japan. They didn't really explain how to use them. But as far as drivers and stuff like that, he says Microsoft always been top notch in their area, which they have. But also it goes on to say too. It mentioned something about hold up. This is really caught my eye. We are fortunate. He said we were one of the fortunate developers to get our hands on the Xbox One early, but the public reveal only confirmed that Microsoft is staying on course with their plans to make the Xbox One entertainment center of the living room. He told us The big positive was also that it is a fantastic piece of hardware offering a huge range of possibility for the developers to connect with players in ways that we thought was impossible today. He's talking about, always being online and how the developers can interact with the players as we playing the games and all types of shit like that. So basically saying, you know, and I read something else when they say if we're playing Just Cause 2 and if the devs when it drops something automatically in the game, especially websites and stuff like that, they can do it automatically. Like I said, being connected to the internet at all times, people, were fussing about that. Now, what he was saying, though, I don't know if it's true. I mean, your thing has to connect once a day. I'm gonna leave my shit to connect all the time. But for us, it will always have to stay on. What they mean by that is that it will go in a sleep state, and then if you walk inside the room, you say Xbox, it boots right back on, so you don't have to go in and cut the shit on. I mean, so like I said, there's still a lot of answers to be. Still a lot of questions to be answered as far as this, But like I said, on paper, also, I read something else on Digital Foundry. Even if Microsoft wanted to go with the GDDR5, they couldn't because it would, bottleneck the system because the multitasking. That the Xbox One is going to be doing. DDR3 is the best form, of RAM for that. For what they're saying, GDDR5 is not good for stuff like that, with a bottleneck the system. I didn't say that, that's what they're saying over Digital Foundry, So, Anyway, I'm about to wrap this video. Let me know what you guys think about the whole used game. Does this affect you? I don't like to be restricted or, I don't like that, But like I said, I would like to see some of the developers get some of this money. Like I said, just think about that, that's all your blood, sweat, and tears, and and like I said, so many damn developers have went belly up this past generation alone. Also, I want to say this too. I was kind of, like I said, I've been doing a lot of thinking about, like I said, and I'm like, damn, did Microsoft, sacrifice the specs of their system to implement this whole Xbox, this whole Connect and all that shit right there, Because like I said, traditionally I've been more of an Xbox guy. I got the PlayStation 4, the exclusives. But if third-party games are going to look better on the PlayStation 4, like I said, if that do be the case, I'm going to buy, I would just use the Xbox for exclusives and get all my goddamn games on the PlayStation 4, So, like I said, I'm not no fucking fanboy, man. Like I said, I go where the games is. If they're looking better on a fucking, on my PS4, I'm going to buy them for the PS4. I just plain and fucking simple. And I just use the PlayStation, I would just use the Xbox One for their exclusive shit, Not for nothing, too. I got a new rig, I was debating about showing it or not, I got, ladies, I don't say it. I got so much fucking flack of a fucking, that $1,000 GPU, the Titan. Like, like I said, if I show my new one, you guys would probably fucking eat your liver. And like I said, it's never been my thing to show off. And, these are fucking video games. It's a hobby. This is not my life, man. Like, I tell you the guys this shit all the time, man. A lot of you guys take this shit too seriously, man. So, even like as far as, back to these games, shit, the games are fucking cheaper on PC, which I know they are going to be. And they're going to look better on PC. I'm just talking shit. Most likely, I'm going to buy them fucking games for the PC. Like I said. But I want to see what, features that come with the, as far as the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 when it comes to these games. Like, I like the fact that everything's on the cloud and you can bring, to me, that's dope shit there. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this video up, and as I always say, man, bang, bang. Ah, damn, dog. EA said it wasn't some of that motherfucking money, GameStop.